Highlights here on Princeton Community Television. I'm Misha.
I'm Rachel.
And here with us today we have Jen Carson, who's a baker and founder of Lily Pies Bakery, which we're at right now in the Princeton Shopping Center, and it's a wonderful location. So to start with, when did you decide that you were going to open up a bakery?
I decided about 10 years ago. I had a bake-to-order business. It was a catering company. I had a shared kitchen with other bakers and caterers. I was baking for Small World Coffee, I was baking for some caterers, and I was baking for some individual clients and for the farmers markets. And it was growing and growing and growing, and the menu was growing, and people were starting to really respond well. And at that time, I tried to imagine what would the best possible restaurant be for what we do and what we want to accomplish. And so I started writing a business plan at that time, and then I just, tweaked it and tweaked it and tweaked it, and asked for advice from other restaurateurs in town. And then finally, 10 years later, we found this space and pretty much did everything we wanted to do, which was great.
Wow.
Yeah.
So have you always been interested in baking?
Yeah, it was something I always did with my mom. She's an excellent cook, and she's also a great baker, which is rare to find that. Usually someone's either a good cook or a good baker. She's both. But she's kind of an improviser. So she's, like you were telling me earlier, that when you were baking pie, you were referring to a recipe, but you were kind of making it your own. That's the way my mom bakes. And she would taste the apples first before she'd make them into pie, and then she'd know how much sugar to add. She wouldn't really go straight from the recipe. So that's the way we baked at home. When I went to culinary school and learned to bake bread, it's a bit more exact than that, even to the point where you have to take temperatures of things and make sure everything is mixing properly at the right temperature so that you know how long it's going to take for the yeast to grow and all of that. So anyway, so that's something I always enjoyed doing.
So the bakery is called Lily Pies Bakery. Can you explain a little bit more about the name?
Yeah, it's funny. Am I wearing a shirt today? No. Some of our T-shirts on the back will say, "I'm not Lily either." Everyone says, "Who's Lily?" And there is no Lily. We named the bakery after our pies. So our pies are little, and another word for little is Lily. Lily is little in Dutch. And when I first started making the pies, I wanted a name for them because people really seem to like the pies almost more so than everything else that we made at the farmer's market. So I thought we need a name for that pie. And we thought about petite pie, it's too French, and cocoa pie, it's cute, but I don't like the way it rolled off your tongue. And then lily pie, I kind of liked the way it sounded, and it just seemed like it fit. It was slightly imperfect and slightly silly and whimsical, and so that's why we named it Lily Pie.
So is your favorite thing that you make the Lily Pies, or is there something else that you really just enjoy making?
Well, that's like trying to say which child is your favorite.
Okay,
I don't know. I think they're all great. I mean, everything that we make is from scratch, and it's we really work very, very hard to make everything the best brownie you're ever going to have, and the best pie, and the best bread. And we feel like if you're going to spend money and spend calories eating what we make, it better be super good and worth it. So that's why pretty much everything that we make is as good as we can possibly make it.
I saw that you had some local beverages in your bakery, like teachers and Small World Coffee.
Oh yes, we do make some of our beverages ourselves. We make lemonade, iced tea, but anything we don't make ourselves, we source locally, and we source from our friends that we've known a long time. So, as I said before, I baked for Small World for a number of years, so I knew they had the best coffee. that I've ever had, and so I really wanted to source their coffee when we opened. So we do serve their coffee, their cold brew and hot coffee. And I've also known Amel and Renee from Tico's for a very long time from the farmers market. And they have a wonderful product. And so they have fresh juices that they deliver 2 to 3 times every week. And they're vegetable juices and fruit juices, and they're great, and people love them. So instead of selling, a lot of soda and things like that, we really wanted to give people a choice that was delicious, but not necessarily junk food. It was, something that was good for you and really local.
So you have the sandwich of the month, named after a celebrity, like people in Princeton, like Phoebe Newman,
Right.
or Brooke Shields. So how do you make the sandwich? Like you ask their favorite, or you just make it up?
Yeah, we do. It's funny. When we first started doing it, when we first opened, it turned out I was always a fan of a band called the Spin Doctors in the 90s, and I don't know if you've heard of them. They're really great. And so their lead singer grew up in Princeton. And when I found that out, I thought, well, we have to dedicate a sandwich to Chris Barron, the lead singer. And it just so happened, for whatever reason, I'm not sure why, he was following us on Twitter. And so I thought, I'm going to get up the guts to just tweet, and I'm going to ask him what his favorite sandwich is and if he would be a sandwich of the month for us. And he wrote back, and I just thought, this is something, we're doing this. And we just started writing to all of these people who grew up in Princeton who really made great names for themselves. So Phoebe Newworth and Brooke Shields and Damien Chazelle and just so many great people. John Popper from Blues Traveler, another band in the 90s. And so, these are people who I grew up idolizing. So it was kind of fun to find out what their favorite sandwich was and to kind of make it their sandwich. And so that's what we're doing. So this month we have the President Eisengruber sandwich. He's the president of Princeton University. And he was very enthusiastic to be one of our sandwiches, which was great. And his is very delicious. You should try it. It's great. Yep.
So what do you think sets your bakery apart?
Our bakery, we really strive to make everything super fresh. Some bakeries you'll go in and the cookies are 2 days old, or the bread is hard, whatever. We bake everything super fresh, and then if we run out, we bake some more throughout the day. And so that way everything is as fresh as can be. Our ingredients are sourced locally as much as we can. So we go to Turkey and Orchards for our apples and some other fruits, peaches. We use Lima Farm eggs and chicken in our sandwiches, and they make pork roll for us as well, which is a very Jersey thing. But their meats are so healthful and good for you and delicious, and their pigs are treated so well, and so we feel really good about using their products.
Besides lily pies, what are some other popular orders that you get a lot?
There are people who come in for the bread every day. So we have a lot of European people, a lot of French people will come in and they will buy 2 or 3 baguettes at a time. The country white sourdough is also a favorite. It's fermented for 24 hours, so it's really got a nice nutty flavor to it, and it's healthful that it's fermented for that long. So it's tasty, and it's also good for you that we let it ferment for that long. We put it in a cold place. It's called a retarder. It's like a big refrigerator. We put it there overnight, so that it kind of, the yeast can kind of slow down and develop lots of good flavor. And then the following morning we bake the breads.
And so you have an open mic night, open mic night coming up. Would you like to
Yes.
tell about that?
Yeah, we usually on a Sunday afternoon, we will open the bakery up or open the outside up to local musicians. Whoever really wants a place to play has that opportunity. When I was in middle school and high school, I was a drummer, still a drummer at times, but at that time, you have bands when you're a kid, and you look for places to play, and there was no place to play. And so that was one of the things when I was designing the bakery. I thought we have to have an open mic so that kids can have a place to perform. And adults too. There are some adults who are 40 and 50 who have never played out, and they really want to have that opportunity to play for people. And so we give them that. And some people are very experienced, and other people, it's their first gig. It's their first time they've ever played out. And so we're proud to host both realms, both types of those performers.
So, since Lily Pies Bakery is relatively new, what's something that you learned about owning a bakery that you didn't think was going to happen, or that surprised you?
Every day, every single day, there is something that surprises me in this bakery. Whether it's something breaking down and we have to learn to fix it, or just training things, like how to train people properly. And I was a teacher actually for 7 years. I have a master's in education, but you kind of learn that training people how to make an egg sandwich is very different than training children how to add numbers. And so, I don't know. Every single day there is something new about being a business owner that you learn. It makes it great. It makes it exciting and fun and unnerving and scary, and it's all of it. And that's what I love about it.
Have you ever had any doubts about opening a bakery, or as the process goes?
Yeah, it's very scary. It's very expensive, and it's a huge investment in your time and your money and your savings and everything. And you really want to make sure you're doing the right thing, and you're putting your best product out there and your best service out there and your best hospitality out there. So yeah, it was a scary thing to make that leap from that comfortable existence of baking for other people and baking for other businesses to really this is who we are, and people might love us, they might hate us, we don't know, and you don't know until you really open. So yeah.
So I've seen quite a few people order from the bakery. So how do you publicize this?
So we use Facebook and Twitter and Instagram quite a lot. We're a brand new bakery, so we have a very low budget for advertising or marketing and all of that. And so we use social media a lot, and it's actually pretty effective for us.
Well, it's a beautiful location, and I've seen all your lovely desserts, and I love your decor. So, can you explain how you came up with kind of a theme?
Oh, sure. Actually, we had fantastic builders and a fantastic architect. We had Knight Architects in Princeton, and we had LRAP Construction, and we all kind of collaborated and worked together. Kathy Knight, our architect, she basically said to me, what are pictures? Send me pictures of bakeries that you like. You like the way they look. What are your thoughts? And so I did. I just cut out pictures, and I said, I like this because it's simple and I want the bread to stand out. And I like this because I want this to be clean looking and I don't want it to be frou-frou. And we didn't want it to be too girly. We didn't want it to be too fanciful or coy. We wanted it to be simple and just clean. And so that's what we really got, and she did a great job.
I agree. It looks beautiful. Well, do you have any advice that you could perhaps give to any viewers that are looking to open up a business or something?
I would say definitely work for other people first. Make sure it's what you really want to do for, say, 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, for a long time. Like that. Make sure, because that's what you're going to be doing. When you own the bakery, it's yours, and when something breaks down and you've left for the day, you come back and you fix it. And not that that's a bad thing, but that is the reality of it. So, you really can't say, oh, I want to open a bakery and then I want to go travel for 6 months at a time, because you're not going to. So I would just say work for someone else, make sure it's what you want to do, make sure it's still your passion after you do it day in, day out. And then just really plan. That's what I would say.
Well, thank you so much for being on our show. It was a very interesting interview for us, and I hope you enjoyed it too.
Absolutely. It was really nice to meet you ladies.
Thank you. And hopefully all of our viewers, anybody who's watching us, comes and check out this wonderful bakery. And we're back with Key the Lights, and we're here at Bella Boutique with the owner, Christina DiDonato. And she's going to tell us a little bit about the store and all the things that are in here, and it's gorgeous. So, when did you first open Bella Boutique?
It's been about 2.5 years now.
Wow.
Time is flying by.
And what was your original idea that was going to set you apart, and why do you want to start it?
I felt like Princeton was lacking in the casual, nice price point, luxury designer clothes niche for shopping, and so opened, and it's been a great success.
So what surprised you about the process or opening a store or running a business?
I think the most challenging part of the initial opening of the business was the construction. It always takes longer than they say, and it's always a little bit higher budget than what they tell you. So I ended up opening about 3 weeks late, which was a little bit challenging because I already had my merchandise. But once we got over that hump, it's been pretty smooth sailing.
So what brands do you carry?
I carry brands such as 360 Cashmere, Velvet, Bailey 44, Calypso, Gigi New York, Minnie Rose, Joie, a lot of well-known contemporary designer brands out of LA and New York.
Has it ever been hard, or have you ever had a doubt about opening a business?
It actually was a very scary thought initially. My husband had much more confidence in myself than I did, but after we got over that initial fear and took the risk, it's been the best thing we ever did.
So do you have some days when no one comes and you're just worried about the sales?
I've had quiet days for sure. Sometimes in the middle of the summer when it's beautiful or it's a popular travel, time of the year, it can be quiet. Thank God I've never had a day where no one's walked in the door. But if it's quiet, I use social media and I reach out to customers and tell them what's going on, keep them informed, and usually I can generate a somewhat successful day even if it's quiet traffic-wise.
So in terms of what you put in the display, like in the windows, what kind of things do you like to put there to catch the attention of the person's eye?
Well, usually they're just my favorite items. They should be things that are very bold. Maybe they're unique pieces, like this guy over here is really furry and attention tracking, but a lot of the times it's just things that I love, so as people come in and notice, I can just speak to it really well because I already maybe own it or I'm wearing it. So that's part of the fun. I can put whatever I want on them.
Have you always been interested in fashion?
For a long period of time, not since day one. I was actually kind of a tomboy when I was younger, but I started at another store in town working when I was in high school, and I loved it, and I spent almost 10 years there and gained my experience and just had a blast, and I developed my passion for fashion. So this kind of, cultivated where I am now.
How about the decor? So it's a very stylish boutique, beautiful lighting, and it all kind of ties together. So what was your inspiration for this?
Well, the store's name is Bella, which means beautiful in Italian. So I kind of have a Mediterranean themed decor. So my dad's a contractor, luckily, and I love design, whether it's, designing an outfit on a body or the decor of a room. So my dad and I sat down, I told him what I wanted, and he made it happen. So I'm lucky. He said I was the worst boss he ever had, but it turned out pretty well.
So, what's the most surprising thing that you've found out about maybe shoppers or yourself while you've been doing this?
Surprising. I guess I was worried in the beginning that, people would kind of just fill their closets and be done shopping. But what's nice is that there's always a new trend. The season's always changing. My customers are very loyal, and I'm in a great shopping center where there's always reasons to come. Usually I'm a stop on the way to McCaffrey's or Lily Pies, and so it never just seems to stop. So it's nice that there's always a turnaround and always something to look forward to.
We were looking around the place and I noticed you had some perfumes called Fig and Melon. Was that a coincidence, or do you actually make your own perfume?
It was actually a coincidence. When I was at the show buying, I was walking down the aisles and I saw the word Bella, so it made me stop. And it turned out to be this great company that's named after this couple's two cats, Figueroa and Annabella. So it's kind of funny, but it works out well in the store. I love the designers.
So, what are some fashion tips that you have for, people like me that might be slightly confused?
Well, a lot of people need a little bit of help. So, it's nice to mix some trend with function. So, you can have all the fun details of the season's trends, like the bell sleeves and the off the shoulders and the cold shoulders. But when you combine them in nice fabrics that you can be hard on and maybe put in the machine to wash instead of constantly getting things dry cleaned, when I say trend and function, that's what I mean. So it's wearable, it's easy, but you still get the look. That's kind of what I accomplish here in the store, and what people appreciate as I kind of style them. So.
What's some of your favorite merchandise that you have?
Right now, I love the cashmere that's come in. There's a really big, dusty, kind of muted neutrals as far as the popular color palette for this season. So there's a lot of the ballet pink, the kind of pale blue. So those in the cashmeres are just stunning. So they're probably my favorites right now.
So what's your favorite season, fashion-wise?
Well, fall is so much fun. It's probably my favorite because there are the most textures and colors.
Okay, so you have a lot of things organized. I see that there's some things over there that are arranged in color and stuff. Is there a specific way that you organize things?
My main goal is shoppability, so I try to make little stories. So I have, a section of dressier tops, and then within that, they're kind of color stories. Then I have this rack is all my dresses, and then within that, I just try to make it organized and a little bit by color. So as people ask me what they need, ask me what they're looking for, I can point them in the direction of, here's dresses, here's sweaters, and then within that, it's just organized and pretty.
So in terms of your target audience, and for people with, different body types, like I'm on the taller side, Rachel's more on the petite side, what would you recommend for different body types?
Well, for you and I, high-rise jeans work out a little nicer. We have longer torsos and more length to cover, so we can handle when your jeans come up a little bit higher. Whereas for Rachel, that kind of might swallow up her torso. So we'll go for a lower rise jean. And there are certain brands that I know are cut specifically longer in the arms, and I know there are certain brands that are cut a little bit more on the cropped or petite size. So that's partly in just kind of experience in dressing different body types, and also knowledge on the lines that I do carry and how they're cut. So those two areas of research over the years kind of help me to know right away what to pull for people.
And besides clothing, how would you accessorize people?
Well, the stuff outside just the apparel on the body comes naturally, because a lot of times someone puts something on and it's easy to suggest if they want to see it with a little bit of height, so then the shoes are introduced. Depending on where they're wearing it, we talk about what bag they're carrying, so that's always an easy suggestion. And then jewelry also slides into the outfitting very naturally, because a lot of times people are like, what necklace do I wear with this? What earrings do I wear with this? And then instead of me coming up with something general or random, I can say something like this, and then it, translates nice and naturally.
When you first opened the store, what kind of who was your target audience, and who were you hoping that would come into the store?
I actually, I was open to, whatever sort of happened, but I would say I am a little bit more of a mature customer. I don't generally dress people my own age that often. I would say the most common ladies shopping at Bella is between 35 and 65. But I've actually had a lot of success with mothers bringing their daughters in, like around your guys' age, and even like grandmother figures. And it makes me so happy when a mother, daughter, and grandmother can all come in and everyone leaves with something. And that's happened so many times. So.
That's so special.
And how do you plan to expand the store? Like, are you going to bring in makeup or just more clothes?
Well, at this point, I've pretty much maxed out what I can handle. It's a small space, and at the moment, I'm just trying to perfect my system and make sure everyone's taken care of as is. I think the idea of expanding for me would translate into probably just an e-commerce site. That would be the next step for me, where I can sell things online. But for that to happen, I need a little bit more staff and a little bit more time, because you need to basically have someone manage that entirely as far as keeping the inventory updated and shipped out. So that would be like phase 2 for me personally, but I'm not there yet.
So out of curiosity, do you wear a lot of the things that you have in this store?
I do. I mean, I don't buy just for me when I purchase for the store, but I just happen to love a lot. So it's hard not to take everything home.
And I see you also have shoes.
I do.
Which is great. So basically somebody could walk in here and come out with like a full outfit.
Head to toe.
It's fabulous. So
Thank you.
You really like owning a boutique?
I love it. It's awesome.
Wow. So thank you so much for letting us interview you. It was super fascinating, especially because I knew nothing about running a boutique, obviously. It's really pretty. I hope a ton of our viewers come here, check it out, and walk out with an outfit head to toe,
There you go.
like you mentioned. Is there anything else you'd like to tell to the people that are watching this?
Oh, I would say if you're curious more about Bella Boutique, follow us on social media. Our hashtag is Bella Princeton. We're on Facebook, Instagram. I post new arrivals daily. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
You're welcome.